The field is set. Tab touch. Have you got the touch plate field stands? Red light is on. EARTHSTORM, can she break a maiden today? They're off and they're racing. The grey, what's the point, first to go. King Hit, though, gathering speed, driving through in long with the roughie on the rails, Mavis Myrtle. And right behind them is Ranix, Bondi Bay, and EARTHSTORM's going to settle off pace. The stablemates are back second last and last, respectively, as they get going. Shaney Bay and Black Aura. 1,000 metres to go, settling down. The speed comes off. King Hit's in front, 3/4 over the grey, what's the point. A length and a half to Mavis Myrtle, down on the inside, the bolter. 3/4 of a length away, then came Ranix, being trailed by EARTHSTORM as they hit the 800. Bondi Bay near the rail, followed further back behind them to Shaney Bay. Black Aura last over on the rail. At the 700 mark with King Hit on top, no change at all to the order. What's the point, just edging its way up a little closer. Heeled along now to stay at the girth of King Hit, who looked to be travelling very well. Over on the inside, Mavis Myrtle. Ranix comes off heels now. What's the point, drops off quickly. EARTHSTORM also has to peel 3 and 4 deep as the sprint goes right on. In behind them, Black Aura, Bondi Bay, Shaney Bay. Into the home straight now. King Hit's the leader. EARTHSTORM coming down the outside. What's the points, coming again after dropping out. What's the point, bursting through inside of EARTHSTORM. EARTHSTORM, what's the point, in a great battle. What's the point, EARTHSTORM. On the outside, the favourite's got a head in front. EARTHSTORM, she breaks a maiden. EARTHSTORM won from what's the point. An intriguing run. Black Aura flooding home to grab third. Back behind them is Ranix in front of Shaney Bay. King Hit paddled after leading for home. Mavis Myrtle back there in the field, and with those towards the rear as well, Bondi Bay. EARTHSTORM wins it. Number 7, EARTHSTORM, ridden by Stephen Parham. It's the Calix filly that beats What's the Point, Jade McNaught. Incredible there. What's the point? Looked a shot duck on the corner, just dropped off. And then all of a sudden decided to go again and has stretched the neck of EARTHSTORM. And this filly, overdue, one of the better maidens going around, and after being placed at 5 of 8, she wins at her 9th run today on this final meeting of the Pinnacle. 7, 5 and 8 are the placings. 7, 5, 8 and 6 the interim numbers. EARTHSTORM, the filly by the former crack British sprinter Calix from Bombay, for Antonella Stewart, J Silvestri, S Campbell, Ms T Nargin, Rapid Equine, S Lyons, Rotto Bree and James Stewart. Stevie Parham aboard for Russell Stewart. And a real battle on her hands from this grey gelding, What's the Point, who's a character to say the least. By Bull Point from Waysource, Luke Fernie, Jade McNaught. Others would have been tearing up their tickets following the grey coming into the corner and then scurrying to find them after he came again in the straight. And Black Aura from the back, running on by Playing God, the filly from Ortessa. Clint Johnston Porter riding for Adam Durant. 1:24.08 the time. The winning margin at the end of that was a short neck and a length second and third, and they've run home in 34.67. So 7, 5, 8 and 6 the details, but EARTHSTORM, a deserved winner, coming back out of the Lustia Classic and knocking on the door with her performances in defeat previously. Race 2 is back to 1:48. Please note, 1:48 for the Bisley Workwear Handicap over 1,000 metres. Number 4, Lexington City, the scratching 8 will run. Lockie Taylor's back in the yard now as we prepare for the return of EARTHSTORM, who's always raced against very good company more often than not. Here's Lockie down in the yard after her first victory.
Russell Stewart is one happy man. He's shaking hands, he's hugging everyone in the mounting yard, and as he should be, because his star 3-year-old filly has finally broke maiden status as he makes his way over towards me with a big grin on his face. Rusty, congratulations on the win. How does that feel?
Oh, mate, some nervous moments, Lockie. As you know, I was looking at the barriers going, oh, no, I'm turning around. I didn't even look at the screen. But to the credit of the barrier staff, they got her in. And, yeah, and the result is how it should have been.
Let's talk about those barrier issues. What have you and your team had to do behind the scenes to rectify what you did on Champion Fillies Day?
Oh, look, this is where I've got to give a little shout out to my son, Kai Stewart. He's done a fair bit of work behind the scenes with this girl. He was the one I wanted to put her out after the champion fillies and let her forget about everything, but he said, no, we've got to fix her, Dad, and credit to him.
She has all the gear on, barrier blanket, blindfold, the pre-race earmuffs. How's she been behind the scenes in terms of her barrier manners?
Look, she won't go on my float anymore, does that tell you? She'll only go on a Grantham's float, so she costs me money every time she's got a float somewhere. But look, I'd like to get this filly over east and maybe do a little Queensland thing, but if you're out there, Graham Begg, and you're listening.
Would you take her yourself, or would you send her to a man like Graham Begg?
She'd go to Graham Begg. No better man with a filly.
Talk us through that decision-making process and when you look to finalise that decision, because that Queensland Carnival, would it be a matter of the January races or perhaps some of their winter features?
Well, I haven't got time. She's had quite a prep now, and I haven't got time to bring her back for our autumn, because she'd have to have a good 6 weeks, 8 weeks off, as you know. She's had a sterling prep, champion fillies. We've had to go back and do a lot of things behind the scenes, and like that was a run. I thought she'd put them away. Maybe Luke's Fernie's horse is a pretty good horse as well, but she's had enough.
Stevie Parnham delivers once again on a big day.
Oh, look, that's why he rides most of my horses. Stevie Parnham he's the Craig Williams of WA, and that's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Absolutely, he's a gentleman. Well done, Rusty, well deserved.
Thanks a lot.
There's Russell Stewart, and here's Stevie Parnham.
Stevie Parnham joins me now. Stevie, as good as she is, it looks like everything that you do with her is hard work.
She's still progressing as a racehorse, and you know, from the barriers to learning to quicken and hold her speed. So she's going to probably go for a spell now, and I think she'll come back a bit more mature and hopefully can improve off that.
What about it, about the 800-metre marker? It looked like the pace came off a little bit and she got up on the chewy.
Yeah, it was a muddling race up front, and it's always a concern when there's a small field. We thought that was a possibility, so I was ready to let her go into the race. Probably got into it a bit sooner than I'd planned, but it was just that I didn't want to get left flat-footed at the top of the straight when they sprinted.
A little bit of an insight from your end and from the jockey's perspective on the track and the movement of the rail?
It felt fine out there now that they've moved it right from the 1200, so it's a smooth pathway around the corner for us now. So, yeah, all good from here.
In the end, that's the only thing that matters, really, isn't it? Safety first.
Definitely is, yeah. As long as everyone gets around the track in a good way, the winners will take care of itself.
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
There's Stevie Parnham combining with Russell Stewart and his star 3-year-old filly EARTHSTORM to finally break maiden status, Scott. It's hard to believe it's taken her this long, but really exciting news that she could potentially be heading towards the stables of Graham Begg, and that would be very, very exciting to see her up racing in Queensland.
Well, correct, Lockie. It'd be great to be able to follow a filly like this, because while you say she's only just broken her maiden on a Saturday, she's still run placings to some of the best that we had in the juvenile ranks, and the run that she produced last start behind Win and the Lion, London's Image, Cashel Palace, definitely good enough form to justify having a throw at the stumps. It's definitely a lofty expectation that she would measure up at that level, but hey, why not?
Love the ride from Stevie Parnham. He gets it right more times than he does wrong on these big days, and from barrier 6 of 8, it could have been an awkward draw to overcome, but she was just in behind the speed, as you said, Scott, was over racing throughout, but was always in the moving line, and when Stevie presented her at the top of the straight, she was the classiest horse in this race. So it's EARTHSTORM taking out race number 1 here at Ascot. Stevie combines with Russell Stewart. In fact, the whole Stewart family are very, very happy as they head to the winner's bar.